So this is it. This is the fourth deck type we're going in. And this fourth deck type, it's got a YCS win. It has won a YCS. Let's go.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
There's a few cards of this leak, so chill as we are revealing them one by one. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. That's right. You probably saw it. Martha. Martha is in the leak. And if you want to know the impact of this deck type, if we look at a YCS from the TCG, their YCS was full of Sprite in tier limit. But Exo Sister won the entire event. How much of Exo Sister, what else is coming, how much of this deck will be playable? We're going to find out right now and see what this deck do. What it do. Let's go. So Martha is leak number 1. What's really good about Martha is that it loses to Ash. That's not good, but you want to Ash this. If you control no monsters or only exceed monsters, you special summon this from the hand and an Exo Sister from the deck. And the core gameplay of Exo Sister is if your opponent does something with the graveyard and moves a card, your Exo Sister on the field that's not an exceed will activate to become an exceed. But because Konami realized that sucks, Martha is the only Exo Sister that states you could also do something with the graveyard. So if you summon the Exo Sister Exceed that banishes a card from the graveyard, or you could use Call by the Grave or DD Crow, that will trigger your own Martha, in addition to her also getting another Exo Sister onto the field from the deck to make a quick 1-card Exceed. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to activate the Exo Sister Pax, which is going to be negated by an Ash Blossom. Oh, that's fine. We ate the Ash. Now I could whip out Martha into the Elise. Now, I'm going to normal summon a Beaver Warrior because I want to showcase to you the ability of Martha being triggered. So what's important to know is that the Exo Sister Exceeds is going to require at least one of the material used for it to be an Exo Sister, so that you can get the effect of this one, quick effect banish a card on the field or in the graveyard, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to use her effect to banish a card from the graveyard because there's nothing on the field, and that's going to trigger Martha. Martha is now going to 1-card Exceed into any Exo Sister. This one's going to be searching for a monster, and, you know, we could use that next turn or summon it onto the field. I'm going to be also using the Mikalis other effect to search for new reveal. Exo Sister Returnia. It's a brand new card, not in Master Duel yet. If all monsters you control are Exo Sister, you can pay 800, target a card on the field or in the graveyard, which, so Graveyard Banish will trigger Martha if you have her on the field. Then you could perform an Exceed Summon with what you have. Or if you already Exceed Summon that turn during your opponent's turn generally, you could banish an additional card non-targeting, non-target banish. So you could banish a card in the field and then another card non-targeting if you already exceeded. Let's see if we do that play. Next reveal, you ready? Reveal number 3. Magnifica. This is 2 rank 4 Exo Sister Exceeds to make. You will commonly make her turn 1, I promise you. The deck can brick and you will not make her, then be upset, but generally a decent hand will make this turn 1. It has the quick effect to detach to non-target banish. Non-targeting, banish a card in the field. Also, if your opponent activates anything, she could jump off the field summoning any of the materials that are a material. So you could summon the Mikalis, which will then have quick effect banish from the field or grave. So that's nuts. She's kind of like double banish. Now, let's see what we can do. We're going to be playing against Sword Soul. Ecclesia. Now, I'm going to respond to Ecclesia, and generally you'd think that's a bad idea. Why would you not wait for Ecclesia? Well, if Ecclesia jumps off the field, I'm not targeting Ecclesia, it's non-target banish. So she jumps off the field into a Mo Yi on the resolution. Mo Yi, you're out. Now we're going to follow up with Long Yun. Let's see what I do. I'm going to chain her other effect, brand new Exceed, to jump off the field into the material, which is going to be Mikalis. Mikalis now has quick effect banish on the field or grave. It's targeting. I'm going to use the effect to banish the token. Follow up Taya. I'm going to now be allowing Taya to use its effect to banish from the graveyard. That's going to trigger my other Exo Sister, to Exceed. Exceeding into Asaphiel. Asaphiel states that if this card is Exceed summoned, neither player can activate cards in the graveyard this turn, so Tenyis in the graveyard cannot activate, and that's going to be the main effect there. Now I'm going to use Returnia. Returnia is going to banish a card on the field or grave, banishing the token, and then it looks like I am performing an Exceed into Magnifica again. So the graveyard cannot be activated, and I can non-target banish again. Makes a Shaman of Tenyi. I'm going to banish. Banish the Shaman. Special summon Vashuda. I'm going to jump into Makalis. Jumps off into the Monk of Tenyi to activate the Vashuda. Can't use the graveyard. Can't do it. And then we're going to lethal damage. Are you ready? Magnifica's got double attack. So we're going to be searching for the Pax. Pax could search for any Exosister card. Searching for the Martha. Martha going to special summon. Summoning an Elise from the deck. We're just going to Call by the Grave for the Keck W into the Castapel. That's going to trigger the Martha. We're going to search for another monster. We're then going to Exceed with the Elise. Elise is just going to draw a card if we have Exosisters. Now, we're going to make the Exosister that boosts up the field, and Magnifica, not only with the non-target banish plus jump into the Makalis, she also has double attack. Double attack. Attack number 1, attack number 2, lethal damage. That's what I'm talking about. Now, let's see what this deck does against Mathmech. Mathmech, let's go. We are Mathmechin. Martha's going to summon herself plus the Elise, and we're not going to cheat with the Beaver Warrior. We're going to pretend like we don't have Beaver Warrior, okay? We're going to search for Vadis. This is not a new card, but it could summon a Martha from your deck, and it will summon during the opponent's turn, so we're going to play against Mathmech. Circular is going to send the Sigma. Exosister loves Sigma. Now, Sigma is going to activate the special summon. The Makalis does not have a banish right now. It's only the turn she summoned. I'm going to chain Vadis. Vadis summoned 2 from the deck. That's going to trigger both of them. Also, the Circular is going to be activating. Now, if you summon this against Mathmech, you win. That's it. Neither player can special summon from the graveyard for the rest of the turn. It does not matter if she leaves the field. You cannot use Equation. You cannot Diameter. You cannot Sigma if you didn't Sigma yet. You cannot Splash Mage. You cannot Transcode Talker. You cannot Alan-Bert summon from the grave. That's it. So we're going to keep on going with the rest of this turn. And he's going to make Alan-Bert. Going to be searching for Diameter. We have Quick Effect Banish, by the way. I'm going to banish the Diameter that could not activate, could not summon from the graveyard. And Equation would also not be activatable. Now, what's the best play here? I'm not going to use the Call by the Grave. That's cheating, okay? We're not going to cheat. We're going to be searching with the Castapel, which turned off the graveyard. We're going to search for a spell. We're going to make Magnifica, which is non-target banish. So if you non-target banish versus a super factorial, guess what happens? If they were to summon a Laplacian or Alan-Bert, even with Diameter equipped to it as a material for negate, it does not activate, cannot negate, gets banished on resolution right here. Now, you know, even if they were able, if they were not a fool and they did this before I summoned the Magnifica, they only have 2 materials in the graveyard because we messed them up previously by banishing the Diameter. But just to learn this little ruling interaction. Also, because you activated a card, I'm going to Chainlink 3 jump into Makalis, which now, the turn she's summoned, could banish from the field or the grave. So that's nuts. Going to summon on resolution, banishing the newly summoned card. Also, I'm going to activate the new Makalis to banish the Alan-Bert or a back row or a card in the graveyard. And then, look at that. Martha, even with Exceeds on the field, could special summon, plus a monster from the deck. Then Exceed, boost up the entire field, and then we're going to make the Magnifica for double attack, lethal damage. And that's my showcase of this deck. I can't say that it's super top tier, the best deck, but it was good enough to win a tournament. This tournament had Mathmech, Fluanderiz, and Exosister alongside all the Sprite and Tearlament. Sprite's going to be coming out soon. Tearlament's all about manipulating the graveyard to fusion summon, which will trigger all of your Exosisters. I'm not going to tout it as a really good way to counter Tearlament, but, it could have a decent matchup against them, a new deck that's going to be tier 1 on release, definitely. So if we take a gander at this deck list, let's see how much of it's playable. So Raymond Dye, we will have this full deck playable besides Mystic Mine. We're not going to have Mystic Mine. No, Mystic Mine's not getting unbanned. We're not going to have Necro Valley. You tell me, did they need Mystic Mine to win the tournament? I don't know, probably, maybe. The Shifter is going to be semi-limited, so we're not going to have this at full power like he had it with Mystic Mine, if you consider that full power. But the Shifter going to 2 does lessen the power a little bit. We're going to have Returnia. We already have Vadis. We have the full extra deck. The Magnifica's coming. And there you go.